We're back with Dawn Staszak, the author of A Guru in the Office, 50 Ways to Remember Your Spirit in the Corporate World. And Dawn, we were talking about how thoughts can really control your mood and help you to feel better and also help others around you to feel better as well. What are some of the other tips and techniques that you offer people for helping to bridge the gap between work and spirituality?
Well, one of the easy things you can do is just anything in your environment, such as a special little statue you want to keep next to your monitor that you can see now and then, or a motivational calendar that has maybe a nice tip every day of the year. Another thing you can do is if you do work at a computer, you can have screensavers of nice pictures of your family or special places that you like to visit, anything that puts you in a really good mood.
Mm-hmm. Now, have you found or have a sense that people are maybe gravitating towards these kinds of tips and techniques nowadays? There's so much uncertainty in the workplace for a lot of people. I mean, have you found that that's been an issue at all?
Absolutely. With the downsizing, obviously not only does that affect the people that have been laid off and lost their jobs, but the people that are left over are often working on a skeleton crew. Mm-hmm. They're putting in more hours, yeah, and they have a much tougher workload, and we just have to get by. So we just have to, instead of just blowing it, we just have to be the best that we can be and do whatever it takes to center ourselves and to be the most productive that we can with this increased workload.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you probably have some favorite techniques that you use, mm-hmm, you know, yourself in your day-to-day mm-hmm, work life? What are some of your favorites?
One of my favorites is at 2 o'clock every day. I have an appointment to myself to breathe. Because when I get into the morning, it's 8 o'clock. You rush through the morning and do what you need to do. Then you take your lunch, you come back, and you've got that last half of the day to go. About 2 o'clock, I just need a breather.
Yeah. So instead of that cup of coffee, which is usually what I do, perhaps taking a breath would be more effective,
right? Taking a deep breath and having an apple, you know, a very healthy mm-hmm, snack. Mm-hmm. Remembering to drink enough water. Mm-hmm. When you don't drink enough water, you tend mm-hmm, to get headaches, and you think it's because of the stress, but it could be just lack of hydration. Right,
and mm-hmm, so that's something you consciously decide and remember to do at 2 o'clock every day?
I make an appointment in my Outlook planner mm-hmm, so that it comes up, because otherwise mm-hmm, I would forget. Right. So I use the software to make appointments to myself, mm-hmm, to remind myself, mm-hmm, or I stick little notes here and there too.
Do you ever find that you don't have time to make an appointment with yourself?
Well, I have it on a recurring notice, okay, so I don't have to think about it. It comes up regardless, and it's like your snooze button in the morning. You yeah, can just hit snooze, 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 or you can pay attention to it.
Right, yeah, great. Well, of course, you were a participant on our self-publishing panel mm-hmm, that we held on March 2nd, and you're also going to have a reading and discussion of your book as well. This is something new that we're doing through community education. It's really trying to highlight local authors, self-published and otherwise. Mm-hmm. But I know that you'll be having a reading on March 16th at the Sugar Grove campus, and these are free and open to the public, and mm-hmm, that's just an opportunity for you to share more about your book and then people to also talk or ask questions as well. What have you found has been the response to your book?
Actually, it's been really pleasing. When people find out about the book, they say, wow, you know, this is really something I needed. And they realize that when they read some of the tips, they find it very helpful. And that makes me very happy.
So have you, you probably have talked to quite a few people who've read it, mm-hmm, and have you learned anything from them, from the people who've read your book?
So far, I've learned that there is a niche, actually, which I was happy to hear, mm-hmm, because I felt it was something that I needed. So mm-hmm, I was hoping to help other people mm-hmm, that needed this as well. Mm-hmm. Maybe if they didn't even realize they needed it. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we just keep going and going, and we don't stop. And we have to stop and take care of ourselves, too.
Do you hear from people on a regular basis, or converse with people, or share things back and forth about tips or experiences utilizing some of the things that you're talking about? Have you had an opportunity to do that?
Actually, what's happening is that people are finding out about it, just trickling here and there. I do what I can as far as marketing it, but mm-hmm, so I haven't had anyone come back a few months later, because there's still so many people just finding out about it. Mm-hmm. It's all brand new still.
Right. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Now, how long ago did you write the book?
I wrote the book actually in 2006.
Okay.
and I just published it last July.
Okay. So if you had to rewrite it today, would it be different or would it be the same?
It would be exactly the same except for one thing. I would rename one of my chapters Color Therapy instead of Crystals and Chakras.
Oh, really?
That might put off some people. And I actually use the crystals and chakras as color therapy as well as for their individual properties.
Okay.
So I might have retitled that chapter.
And so color therapy, you mean having the right color in your office or surrounding yourself with objects that are a particular color?
Actually, what you wear, the color that you wear, the color that you focus on in relation to a crystal's properties or a chakra's properties.
Okay, interesting. Well, it's been very interesting. Just one last quick question. Any new books that you're thinking about?
I've actually got 3 ideas I'd like to do, and we'll just see what happens.
Well, we'll have you back to talk about those.
That sounds good.
Thanks for being here with us today.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll be back after a short break.